So today, like the presentation name is the Improving Developer Experience, or what we refer as a DX using design patterns. This is for like all the, I've seen like many presentations, like they are from like a moderate level to high level at the CLA level. This presentation is mostly targeted to the, from the beginners level up to, you know, like a moderate, as well as people who are still thinking about like using design patterns and so on. So myself, first of all, like I'm a founder and director of the company called Graphics, based in Bangalore. Like I said, the main objective, like we also handle the projects, but at the same time, our core objective is like a training and certification industry. I presented at the NI week as well, CLD Summit, CLA Summit, Developer Days, and more. I have a few stints at National Instruments in India as well. Apart from that one, like I have a YouTube channel called LabVIEW Advantage where I share some of the tips and everything. And apart from that one, like I'm a founding member of one of the lab user groups in India called InLab, or the Indian Lab User Group. So coming back into the presentation, okay. So what do we, first of all, like to explore design patterns and everything, we need to discuss about what is the developer experience. So as you can see, like for example, let's say at the moment we are struck by the COVID, and there is like a lockdown in majority of the countries all over the world. At the moment, like some of the travel restrictions are there. You cannot go anywhere wherever you want. But at the same time, like it is seen that like in most of the places, let's say like after COVID ran out and everything, now you want to have the long vacation where you wanted to go. So in that case, what you do it is like the easiest thing, intuitive way to do it is like people go to, you know, the app download place, and then like they are going to search for the app. Let's say in this case, we're looking for the weather, whether you are using like Apple-based iPhone or like you are using Android systems or something. You go to the like App Store or Play Store and then search for that app. So once you search all these apps, like what you actually do it is, one thing is like you are going to download these apps as you go. Like you don't wait which one is good or bad or anything. You just download as it is. And one of the reasons why we download most of the apps as we go is, one of the main reason is because they're actually free. Okay, so you download all of them, and then as some of the apps are getting downloaded, you are you know, testing other apps and everything. So as you go, like test and everything, but at the end, like once you have downloaded, let's say like 4 or 5 apps you have downloaded in the system, you are going one after another, running and everything. Eventually, you are not going to have all these apps in your system. So what you're going to do it is like eventually you will be left out with like let's say 1 or 2 apps. Now, like how do you actually reach to that conclusion? Okay, how do you select it? So how you select is like the first thing is whether like the app is providing you the accurate information or not. Another thing is like it is clear or not, like is it easier to read. Another thing is intuitive. For example, like if I press certain things, like it should happen. Like let's say like there is a like X button, okay, but if I press the X button, something else happens. It doesn't actually make like a sense to us, because intuitively, like whenever we look into the user interface or something, many people will think that X button usually mean like a closing or stopping or something. And similarly, like it should be easy to navigate. So these are the things you are going to select. Apart from that one, like other things you can consider is like whether how fast is the app, how responsive it is. For example, like if I press it and if I have to wait for it, nowadays, like you know, people have got like a very short you know, attention span. So like they want everything to happen quickly. Another thing is like based on your memory sizes. For example, even if you have got like a large like a memory in your mobile device, still in that case, like you might have a lot of photos and videos in your system. So in that case, it's like because of the memory space and everything, that can be the issue. So you cannot have all the apps, or some apps might be occupying more space. And another thing that is going to consider, even if you have got an app that is going to provide you the accurate information or clear, intuitive or something, at the end of the day, like most of the people will go with the aesthetics. For example, like you can look into the app, and then the app is actually showing you, let's say, temperature is such degrees centigrade or degree Fahrenheit, and it is going to give you wind speed and everything. It will give you in a tabular format, okay? Rather than that, like just like here, we can see there's a sun and a cloud. So it means like it is going to be sunny day, okay? So basically like it is going to be like a more easier for people to just, okay, I look into the app and then know it. And eventually most of the people We'll consider about the user reviews as well, and feedback and everything. And that's how like people will go through the application process. So what do we refer, like why we're talking about this is because what we have discussed earlier, that whenever a person is using the application, they are actually going to look into like simplicity. Okay, so how easy it is to use, how intuitive it is. For example, if you make some mistake, like it is still going to help you use it without any issue. You can easily learn it and navigate and everything. So basically, this is what we refer as a user experience. Okay, or in short term, like a UX. Because as LabVIEW developers, our objective is to like deliver the application that the users should be able to like use it immediately. Now, like one thing we need to keep in mind is like a customer is not at all concerned about DX. We'll come into what the DX is at the moment. Okay, so basically, like we discussed, that the user or the application user was able to like download all these apps as he went through, and then he just like went through, browsed through that, and based on his experience, like how easy it was and everything, they just like go with the application itself. They don't actually concerned about like what are the challenges you faced. For example, in the work environment, let's say like you develop the application, day and night. Okay, so you have a deadline to meet and everything. You work day and night, and like a lot of time and effort is required and everything. So underneath the hood of the application, the user doesn't actually care about like how you have actually developed that application. So this is the main concern. Okay, so this is why like we'll be coming into that one. So let's look into the real world scenario now. Coming back into this one, we'll go more deeper into what the DX is. But let's say like a customer comes to you and asks you to develop an application. Now you develop the application first of all, and then deliver it to the customer. The customer is very happy. Now the next step is like let's say you started working on the other projects, and finally like eventually the customer comes back to you again, and now like the customer will ask you for certain modifications. Okay, but the main issue is like since you had worked with that project a long time ago, maybe like 5 months, 6 months, or even 1 year or 2 years or something. Now like there can be some issues. We'll look into that one in a moment. Similarly, the customer comes back to you and requests the application. This is second scenario. Customer is happy with the solution. The customer goes, but in this scenario, the same customer does not come back, but another customer comes back with the similar request. Now, since you had like worked in a project very similar to that one, you already know like how to develop that application. Okay, so the requirements may be like very similar, but with some variation and additional functionality. Okay, so the issue with this one, like this looks really good in like in the slides and everything, but the big challenge is like what actually happens is like we are all like LabVIEW users, and LabVIEW is graphical in nature, and you must have heard about like how LabVIEW is so easy. You don't need to remember about the syntax and developing the applications and everything. So it's just like developing a flowchart and everything. But like at the end of the day, like let's say a customer comes back to you and requests for the modification, or want to develop another application which is very similar to what you've built in the past. So eventually, like you will reach into this kind of scenario. Okay. So when I wrote this code, like I only got and I understood what it did. Now, like God knows. Okay. Now, like the scenario will come into the place where you will be looking into the code, and then the code will stare back to you. Okay. So this kind of scenarios can happen, and these can lead to a lot of huge issues, because you will lead into a lot of problems. Right? So let's look into like some of the scenarios. So one of the scenario, like I'll give you like a little bit of my experience while I was like consulting for National Instruments in India. So I was very closely working with some of our peers from application engineering team. So they used to receive the codes from the customers, and then most of the time when I would look at the code, like I used to cry. Okay, so because I was a CLA, and then like the potential of LabVIEW is so much, but like people are using haphazard way. Okay, so the one of the scenario that can come into it is like they're going to build the code, like let's say like you have a single while loop which includes all the code. Okay, or maybe like 1 or 2 loops, but it's still like got too many codes inside that one. Okay, there are certain technical terms here, but like I'm not going into that one, which is referred as high cohesiveness and everything. But at the moment, like let's look into very simple, trying to keep it as basic as possible so everybody can grasp what the DX and how to improve it. So when you write entire code into the same place, like it will become complicated. It's going to too large code. That is elements like when you go to the LabVIEW environment, like you need to like scroll from left to right or up to down or something. The moment you scroll to the left hand side, the code on the left hand side is hidden. If you go down, the code on the top is hidden again. Okay, it's going to be very different. And another thing is like it is going to be unreusable, which basically means it is very application specific in nature. So anything that application is specific in nature cannot be reusable mostly. Like the reusable value will go down drastically. And similarly, like it is unscalable. Like you can extend it very easily, and it is going to be resource intensive because like all the codes are running single iteration. So this is the first scenario. Okay. So we'll be like going through like similar scenarios and look into what are the scenario conditions. Second scenario is like some people like they are not going to write into the same thing, but they might be using something called as like a stack sequence. Right? Stack sequence is a very good way of like running a code that is going to run in a sequence. But if you got like a large sequence of code like which is going to like go back like a forward and everything, for example, in this case, I'm showing the single frame, single like a stack sequence, which is actually spanning longer. Okay, so like it is the same, like 4 of them are like actually the same frame, so in sequence. But like again, like it also suffers from the same scenarios like the previous scenario. So the code is too long, it is unorganized, we do not know like which code has to run after which one. You can actually know it, but the problem is you have a fixed sequence execution, which basically means you cannot change these steps. So whatever you have written the code in the initially, that is the way it is going to execute. You cannot do anything about it. Now the next thing is like you have a 2 parallel codes running. Okay? A lot of loops are running in parallel. Okay? So I've also like seen this kind of code, like when I receive the code from the customers, they want the code reviews and everything. So it's very unreusable. First thing, again, like it is going to be very application specific. The like what we refer as the application is like they're not looking into like what are the future possibilities or like do I need to maintain this code in the future? You don't have that thing in hindsight. So like what I'm going to do it is like they are going to always going to like just try to fix the problem, okay, as it comes. So in that case, like adding another code on the top of each other, and it is going to like quite messy. And again, like it is going to unscalable. And one thing is like you will not have a proper communication mechanism between the loops. Okay? They're just sending the data, and it can lead to racing conditions, memory issues, all that kind of stuff. Completely depends upon the part of the code that is hosted inside each of the loop. Now the fourth scenario can actually be one of these 3, combination of all these 3. So this is going to like one giant problem, and this kind of code, like you can review the code initially a little bit, but it is not possible because like one time, like I received the code review request from one of the customers, and they had got like 5,000, 6,000 VRs in a project. They had like a certain deadlines, and now like it's very difficult because you cannot even sit down and then rewrite the entire code as well, because like there is not enough documentation as well. But this presentation is not about the documentation aspects, readability, but they're like we're looking into how we can standardize the code so that like we can make use of it to improve the developer experience. We'll come into what is the developer experience in a moment.